Hi everyone, this is Masterpiece Convoy back with part 3 on my review on both my 160GB iPod Classic and my 64GB iPod Touch 4th generation, which will be on the rest of the features such as the extras section on the Classic and the settings sections on both my iPods as well. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is the extras section on the Classic. The iPod's Classic's Extras section contains 8 sections such as the clock sections, which contains the clock time for your area and also in regional parts of the world such as Africa, Asia, Atlanta, Australia, Europe, North America, Pacific, and South America as well. Plus, the other features that are in the settings section on the iPod Classic are the calendars, contents, alarms, games, notes, screen lock, and also the stopwatch as well. The second thing that I'm going to talk about is the settings section on the Classic. The iPod's Classic settings sections contains 17 sections such as the About sections, which contains 3 pages. The first page has the audio, video, photos, other, and also how much gigabyte space has been used as well as how much gigabyte space is still free. The second page would tell you how many songs, videos, podcasts, photos, games, and contents are in the iPod Classic. And the third page would tell you the serial number, model, and the version of the iPod. Plus, the other features that are in the settings section on the iPod Classic are the shuffle, repeat, main menu, music menu, volume limit, backlight, audiobooks, EQ, sound check, clicker, date and time, sort by, language, legal, and also the reset settings as well. And now the third and final thing that I'm going to talk about is the settings section on the Touch. The iPod's Touch's settings sections contains 20 sections such as the airplane mode, Wi-Fi, networks, which allows you to turn on and off the Wi-Fi signal, notifications, swipe down from the top of the screen to view notification center, sort apps manually or by time in notification center, 7 items, and 1 and not in notification center as well. Location services uses crowdsourced Wi-Fi hotspot locations to determine your approximately location. A purple location services icon will appear next to an item that is currently using your location. A gray location services icon will appear next to an item that has used your location within the last 24 hours. The second set would have 3 sections to contain. The first one is the sounds settings, which has the ringer and alerts, the change with button switch. The volume of the ringers and alerts will not be affected by the volume buttons. The other 6 items are the ringtone, new mail, sent mail, calendar alerts, lock sounds, and keyboard clicks as well. Plus, the 2 other settings items would be the brightness settings and the auto brightness switch, as well as the wallpaper settings, which allows you to change the background of the set lock screen, set home screen, or set both as well. Plus, you can also move and scale the pictures that are in the Photos Library sections to be used as the same background screens as well. The third set is the General section, which contains the About section, which lets you know how many songs, videos, photos, applications, capacity, available, version, model, serial number, Wi-Fi address, Bluetooth, legal, and regulations as well. Plus the other 11 items are the network, Bluetooth, Spotlight search, auto lock, passcode lock, restrictions, date and time, keyboard, international, accessibility, and reset as well. The fourth set has the music settings, which contains the shake to shuffle switch, sound check switch, EQ, volume limits, lyrics and podcast switch as well. Next is the video settings, which contains the start playing from the beginning or where you last left off, the closed captioning switch, home sharing. An Apple ID is required to use home sharing. Next is the photos settings, which contains the photo stream and the slide show. Play each slide for 2, 3, 5, 10, and 20 seconds, plus the repeat switch and the shuffled switch. The fifth set has the FaceTime settings, which contains the enter Apple ID, sign in with your Apple ID, or create a new account to activate FaceTime. Next is the notes settings, which has the front noteworthy, Helvetica, and the markers felt as well. Next is the App Store, iCloud, Twitter, and the Messengers settings as well. Now the sixth and final set that I'm going to talk about is the mail, contents, and calendar settings. The first set is the accounts to add an account to the iCloud, Microsoft Exchange, MobileMe, Gmail, Yahoo, AOL, Hotmail, and other as well. Next is the Fetch New Data, which contains the push switch. New data will be pushed to your server. Fetch the schedule below is used when push is off or for applications which do not support push for better battery life. Fetch less frequently, every 15 minutes, every 30 minutes, hourly or manually. The mail would show 50, 100, 200, 500, and 1000 recent messages. Preview would have none or have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 lines. Minimum front size would have the small, medium, large, extra large, and giant. Show to /CC lateral switch. Ask before deleting switch. Load remote images switch. Organized by treaty switch. Always BTC myself switch. And signature sent from my iPod. The contents would have the sort order for the first / last names, while the display order would have the first / last names. The calendars would have the new invitations alerts switch, while the time zone support would have the time zone switch. Time zone supports always shows events, dates, and times in the time selected for calendars. When off, events will display according to the time zone of your current location. The Safari settings would have the search engine for Google, Yahoo, and Bing. Auto fill, use, contact info switch, my info names and password switch, and clear all. Automatically fill out web forms using your contact info or previous names and passwords. Open links. Privacy, private browsing, accept cookies would have never, from visit, or always. Clear, history, cookies and data. Security, fraud, warning switch, warns when visiting fraudulent websites. JavaScript switch, block pop-up switch. Advanced website data and debug console switch. Debug console will automatically appear to help resolve web page errors. Finally, the Nike Plus iPod would have the Nike Plus iPod switch, power song, spoken feedback, distances, kilometers, weight, lock screen, portrait, senior, remote, and reset calibrations. I should also note that you need to get a pair of Nike Plus shoes and Nike Plus iPod Sports Kid or Senior in order to make the Nike Plus iPod app work. Well, that's it for part 3 on both my 160GB iPod Classic and my 64GB iPod Touch 4th generation. However, I will be back when I am done on part 4 of my review on both my 160GB iPod Classic and my 64GB iPod Touch 4th generation, which will be on the remaining stuff that I didn't mention on part 3.